All right, cool. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
That's yours now, Mamba.
That fits pretty good. Brother, how excited.
I'm excited.
I mean, Legacy Racing, you're running with Jimmy Johnson, the GOAT as we call him around here. What a wild ride.
Yeah, it's super neat being able to join forces with Legacy, with Jimmy. He's had his legacy as a driver, right? He's won 7 championships. He has 90-something cup wins. He is the GOAT. So to be able to join an organization, hence Legacy, it's time for myself to make my name at Legacy and my legacy through the years to come. So I know that he wants to make a Legacy 2.0 per se as a car owner. So hopefully we can accomplish that together.
So Legacy, right? Like that name, like, and what it represents is like a lineage of things. And for me, my dad has been like watching the struggle and growing up and trying to get through it. And he now walks around and is like, I'm Mamba's dad. Not he's my son, I'm Mamba's dad. I feel like this is a moment for Joe, for your old man, and you to have that same type of energy.
Yeah, for sure. I think ever since I was a little kid and walked around the racetrack, everyone called me, hey, you're Joe Nemechek's son, right? So now for me, it's all about creating my own legacy. Continuing on the Nemechek name, but doing it to where, hey, that's John Hunter's dad, right?
Yeah.
Same thing you said. That's how I want to be known. Like I feel like I have a lot more to prove in this sport. I feel like I have a lot more to accomplish, and things are only going to continue to get better.
It's kind of like when, you know, when the cameras are scanning the fans and they're like, oh, that's so-and-so's dad. You know what I mean? So like for you as a dad, you probably want that same thing. It's a proud moment. You're giving it to your kids.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what my kids are going to do, if they're going to race or do whatever they want to do. But at the same time, I hope that if they do decide to race, I think any dad would want their son or daughter to be better than they were, right? You're passing off information, you're passing off tradition, you're continuing to push the boundaries and the limits with them. And if you teach them at an early age, they should strive for success.
So let's turn the clock back a little bit, because this isn't your first introduction to the Cup Series. 2020. Now you were with Front Row, and they were a building team, but you had some wild speed right out of the gate. Like, where did that come from?
I don't know where it came from. I guess just driving race cars fast is what I like to do. As a race car driver, I like to go fast and push a race car to its limits every single weekend that we show up to the racetrack. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but that year 2020 taught me a lot. Personally, mentally, it was a struggle for sure. But like you said, there were some shining bright moments for sure. I feel like we handled the year well, but now to take that step back from the Cup Series and the mental struggle to figure out what I wanted to do, it was pretty clear, written on the wall of the opportunity that I had with Toyota, the opportunity with KB. I owe a lot to him from the standpoint of how many flights we had together that year, the heart-to-heart talks that we had, trying to figure out where I should take my career and how I should get to the end point that I want to get to. And it's been 3 years, stepping stone. We've won a lot of races over these past 3 years with Toyota, and we're continuing to try and win a championship this year, and then see what we can do in the Cup Series.
So you're talking about KB as in Kyle Busch, but on some of those flights, I know there was 2 KBs. So you had Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch to kind of bounce stuff off of. When you're around people that are elite at what they do, how much does that ease your learning curve and get you there faster?
I think it helps a lot when you're able to be around guys like that and have them mentor you in a way, or be able to ask them questions and know that they're going to shoot you straight. It helps you decide kind of where you want to go. It gives you information for you to make your own decision, right? But you value those guys, you respect those guys. They've been through a lot, and they kind of know the ins and outs of the sport. not only on the sports side, but also the personal life side. So kind of seeing me after races in 2020 on flights home, there were some times where we would talk all the way home. And there were some times where none of us would say a word on the flight. It all just depended on how we ran that day and different things of that sort. But I think it's really cool to have Kyle kind of mentor me in that way. He actually drove one of his first Xfinity starts, I believe, for my dad at Nemco.
Oh, no kidding.
So he ran some races at Nemco when I was 5-6 years old, Brexton's age, and now being able to drive for him in 2021 and 2022, Brexton being 5-6 years old, it's kind of crazy how it's come full circle.
So when you did get to drive for Kyle Busch Motorsports, you guys were lightning fast, right? And didn't get to the finish line like you weren't able to hoist that championship trophy. Talk about that as a learning experience as to how to make that happen now this year as you're trying to close out an Xfinity championship and into your Cup season.
So I feel like when I was at Nemco, yes, we made the playoffs almost every year that I ran the truck deal, but we were always the underdog coming into it. We were the 6th, 7th, 8th seed every single year, and we never made it to the Final Four. Not having experience in that and always having the underdog mentality, there's things that I probably should have done different in 2021, and same thing in 2022. It's all a part of the process. It's all a part of learning. I feel like KBM was one of the best opportunities that I had at the time of being in equipment that should go win races every single week. And you're expected to go win races. You're expected to go contend for a championship. And we were able to do that. Were we able to get a championship? No. And that still haunts me to this day when I rewatch race after race after race, knowing the circumstances that happened, but hindsight's 2020, right? So how do you take that moment, move on from it, learn from it, and not make the same mistake twice? So 2021, I tried something, it didn't work. 2022, I went the complete opposite direction, it didn't work. So now it's somewhere in the middle. And we're planning on going to hoist the trophy in Phoenix this year in the Xfinity Series.
Looking to the future and starting your new legacy at Legacy Motor Club. It really is a nice clean logo and everything's good. With Jimmy, what excites you about getting to drive for him and then being able to work that closely to one of the best?
I think just the perspective that he has, the vision that he has, what he wants to accomplish. Like I said, his legacy 2.0 is starting as an owner. He wants to give back to the sport, and he wants to figure out how to win races and win championships. There's a lot of great people that are starting to be put in place for that, and I'm really excited about the opportunity at Legacy next year and for years to come. It's going to be unique being able to drive for a legend, a 7-time champion. I think from the standpoint of being able to reach out to him and ask questions and to pick his brain about situations, or what was his mentality going into super speedways or short tracks or wherever it may be. I mean, he's a couple years removed, right? But at the same time, he has loads and loads of information, laps, knowledge that you can go and pick his brain. So I'm excited about that side of it. But I'm also excited about the mental side of it with him, from working out to studying race film to showing up to the racetrack. I mean, there's a reason that he is a 7-time champion.
So for you, getting this opportunity, how does it feel from going from a snowball derby champion, right, pinnacle of short track racing, to now getting back into the Cup Series, the pinnacle of all stock car racing? And it's a little different, right, because you're not a rookie. Like, you kind of been there, but now you have more confidence, I would imagine, being a winner at every other level.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, when I went to front row, I only had one Xfinity win, right?
Right.
Now we've compiled quite a few truck wins and quite a few Xfinity wins over the last few years, and I wouldn't be in this spot with Toyota or without Toyota. For me, it is a huge opportunity, and being able to move up the ranks with them, with the truck series, with the Xfinity series, and now being able to go to the Cup Series with them. This was our goal. Our goal was to make it back to the Cup Series and kind of revamp my career and be able to go out to have a shot to win races every single year, have a shot to make the playoffs, win championships, and that's what we're here to do. So
brother,
we can go get the first one.
I've known you for, I don't know, you must have been like 15 or 16 when we first started hanging out. And then when you started making the climb, I was like, all right, and then it kind of like got weird, like kind of like leveled off. And to watch you not quit in the grind, bro, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
You deserve to be back in the Cup Series.
Thanks, Mamba.
Man, thank you for trusting me and giving me the first take for John Hunter. It's a big return to the NASCAR Cup Series. Rocking this beautiful black and gold Legacy Motor Club logo.
That's
You
a
better
wrap.
watch out. That's a wrap.
That's
We
a wrap.
We're
Let's
wrapped.
do it.
We're wrapped.